Patrick Benio back here with you at the intermission, joined now by Cape Breton Eagles 18-year-old forward Dawson Stairs, who came over during the trade window. Dawson, what are your thoughts on the season thus far for yourself and for your new team?
I thought that teams have had a pretty good second half so far. I think it's pretty close to a 500 record, so not going to complain about that. And then personally, I thought I've developed a lot over Christmas break, and since I've got here, and I really like the level I brought my game up to.
We've seen lately you on a line with Felix Paré and Emile Hegarty-Aubin. Tell us about the chemistry in that trio.
We're three big bodies who are able to move our feet. I think that line, we work pretty well, and whenever we get down in the offensive zone, we're just able to protect the puck from other team and create our chances off that.
You're a newcomer to the Eagles, and a couple of other guys come in at the trade window as well. From your perspective as one of the new bodies, how has the chemistry come together in this group?
I really like it here. I think everyone has great chemistry here. Everyone seems to bond on and off the ice, and I think that's a huge part of the team's success, where it comes from. So I really like to see that from our team.
Going back to your days before the QMJHL, you ended up being picked in the 7th round, and that was because there was heavy consideration that you might go NCAA. Tell us about your interest in going NCAA and why you ultimately decided to come to the Q in St. John.
I was being pushed by my parents pretty hard just because they want to get my education in, and they thought college was the way to go. And I thought college hockey was pretty sick. I've seen some videos on it. I went and watched a few games, so I thought it was going to be a nice place to play. And then I guess when I came to the Q, I just was okay. I fit in really well here, and I could see myself here in the next 4 or 5 years. I was going to enjoy it.
You end up having a very interesting 16-year-old season because St. John had so many high picks, they weren't allowed to carry you on their roster. Walk us through how your 16-year-old season unfolded, because you end up playing with Select's Academy team in the U.S. and also in Campbellton, and you do get called up for some games to St. John as well. How did all that come together?
It was a crazy year, lots of travel. Started off in prep school over in South Kent, which is down in Connecticut. Spent 4 months there, and then I was called up to St. John a couple times while I was there. And then after that 4 month, I got the opportunity to go play junior A, and I thought go and play with bigger, more skilled guys was going to benefit me when I wanted to jump into the Q next season. It was just a thing I couldn't turn down, and I ended up going to junior A, had a great year there, loved it there. All my teammates were great, and it benefited me really well my next year, my 17-year-old year when I came to Q.
And also part of that 16-year-old season, before the season starts, you get to go to the National Under-16 Development Camp. Tell us about that experience.
That was pretty good for sure. A lot of great players there and great coaching staff, and just everything there was amazing. So I learned a lot from there that I was able to bring back into my game.
You were involved with the Montreal Meltdown tournament. I don't know a lot about this tournament, but I saw a picture of you looking like you were holding up a trophy. Tell us about that event and what you won there.
I think it was my draft year. They put a team together kind of from the Maritimes, but there was a few guys, a couple from the States. There was even a guy from Finland on that team too. It was a good group of guys, great hockey players, and I'm pretty sure they're all playing high-level hockey nowadays. It was a really great tournament, great experience there, and had lots of fun.
We're recording this on Tuesday. We're just hours away from the Sea Dogs, your old team, playing their first game in a long time. How much contact have you had with your former teammates, and how excited for them to finally get back to playing?
I'm happy for them. They're able to get back on the ice, get some games in, and I keep in contact with a good amount of them. Some of them I'm really close friends with. I'm going to have to support them tonight and just see how they go.
What was your reaction upon learning that you were going to be coming to Cape Breton? Obviously, you're moved a bit further from home, but perhaps more opportunity to play with the Eagles.
That was pretty much it for me. It was a lot farther away from home, but it was going to be a great opportunity, and I felt here to get to where I want to be. This was the place I need to be.
One observation people made when St. John was really kind of embarking on this big rebuild, they had a lot of players in that same age range. We talked about you couldn't play at 16 because of that. Did that provide a challenge, and how good was it maybe to get somewhere where you could be one of the few 18-year-old players on this Eagles team?
For sure, with all the guys my age in St. John, it was hard. You were kind of always competing for a spot, and if you made a mistake, well, someone just jumped ahead of you right away, whereas now there's not too many 18-year-olds on this team, but it's kind of the same thing. You can't make mistakes over here, and they'll cost you.
Accountability wherever you go, for sure. I've made this mistake in the past. How many times have you been mistaken for being related to Matt Stairs? And why do you think that started?
Way too many times. Some people just ask me if we're cousins or something. Other people just assume he's my father. I think it's just because he's from Fredericton. He was an athlete, and I kind of grew up the same way, and that's why they think that.
You've played multiple sports growing up as well. Did you ever cross paths with him?
No, I actually can't remember any time I've met him. I don't know why people assume he's my father. So,
well, hopefully you end up having as much success in hockey as he had in baseball. Lastly,
yes, no, for sure.
Lastly, for those that haven't seen you play before, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I'm a big player, more of a power forward kind of role. I try to be a 200-foot type of player, take care of my D zone, and then get my offensive chances off that. I like to go out and set the tone and create energy for the club.
Fans have enjoyed watching it thus far in your time in Cape Breton. You're certainly on a nice run. Best of luck the rest of the season, Dawson. Thanks for this.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
That's Dawson Stairs joining us at the intermission. You're listening to McDonald Auto Hub, Cape Breton Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.